There, I think we are connected. Just a little bit. Okay, I hope you can see us and hear us. We'll just give it a couple of seconds here to make sure on my monitor I'm hearing everything that needs to be heard. Yep, it looks like everything's working fine. So, hello everybody. Glad to have you here. And let's see who is here, shall we? Let me just, oh, I hate it when it does that. Okay. So, Donna is our first one here. Donna's here. And Catherine and Andy. Russ is here, back from QuiltCon. And Evelyn and Barb and Marilyn and Brenda. It's sunny Waikiki, where she is. Philippa's here. Hi, Philippa. Suzanne is here. And who else? Patsy, Diana, Melissa Van Buskirk from Saskatchewan. I don't know if you've been here before or not, Melissa, but welcome. I don't remember seeing your name come up in the chat. Maybe you're one of our lurkers, but that's okay. We have them. Sue's here. Hi, Sue. Reasonably warm in Missouri, 71 Fahrenheit. Well, it's nicer than not. Heather is here. Oh, I see Nightbot is still doing that thing with ignore the pop-up soda. I forgot that was on the timer. I'll have to remove that because we've already had that. We're going to talk about it in a moment. Okay, that shouldn't come up again. I think I've got that fixed. Okay, let's see. I don't know if those links are going to work either. I can't test this stuff. Oh, yeah, the links work. Yay! So if you tap on anybody there, you'll get Stephanie. Okay, come on. I'm losing my screens and my mind, and I don't want that stuff on there. And just go away. Okay, so anyways, if you want to connect to anybody's channel that you don't know, I mean, that's Shannon, Russ, and Stephanie. The links are there. Nightbot will put them up occasionally. Jean E is here. Candace is here. Heather Krowski is here. Karen B is here. Ron's here. Hi, Ron.
He says hello. See you next Sunday.
Oh, well, he means the men's so day, I think. I would assume. Of course, with Ron, you never know. It could mean anything. He has that kind of sense of humor, you know. Shirley is here. Yes, Melissa is new. Okay, great. Kim's here from Nova Scotia. Kim, if those of you that are on the Pop-Up So Day, met Kim for a bit. She runs the Atlantic Embroiders Facebook group that I am now part of as well. And I'm hoping to maybe do some things with Kim and her group later down the road. Pat's here. Hi, Pat. What words of wisdom can you impart today? Don't eat yellow snow. Okay, moving on. Faith is here. Oh, Stephanie says they're on the road in Virginia now. Oh, okay. So road trip. Billy's here. Hi, Billy. Jeannie is here. And Ingrid, and I'm assuming Ingrid is with Stephanie. Heidi's here. I'm prepping supper in the wilds of New Brunswick, Canada. Okay. Atlantic Coast Embroidery. Yes. I have a hard time remembering the name. I know Atlantic is in there. It's the coast I miss. I know your embroidery. But yeah, check them out if you're a machine embroiderer. Just go to Facebook and look up Atlantic Coast Embroidery. Lots of neat stuff to see there. Lots of friendly people sharing all kinds of tips, tricks, and other things. Susan is here. Hi, Susan. So we got quite the crowd coming in right now. Some of you on the road, some of you at home watching us, probably in your jammies. Well, maybe not. Philippa might be. But anyways, so what have we been working on? Okay, well, it's kind of the same old here. I'll pull up what I've been working on. So here's some of the rows to the new pattern that I am working on, but I'm not happy. especially in the first row. Some of my points got cut off, and I know why they got cut off, and I'm going to rip it all out because I cannot have that as a sample with my pattern if it's not as close to perfect as I can get it. I did better on some of the other rows, but that row for some reason didn't work. I mean, it's not a major problem, but I know it's there, and other people staring at it will know it's there. It's not because I wrote something wrong in the pattern. I don't know what happened. Well, I do. I trimmed them too much. I forgot about the points when I was trimming them a little bit, and I got the seam too close to the point and knocked it off. And a couple of them aren't lined up very well either. So I want to redo them, which means I'm going to have to rip them out and make an adjustment. But yeah. But anyways, besides that, I'm kind of happy with how it's coming along. And I have a quilt up for a raffle, and I thought I'd show it to you. This is the quilt that I donated to the Oshawa Senior Citizens, and apparently they're not auctioning it now. They're raffling it off. And it's going around to, I don't know, how many different senior
I
citizens
think there's
there?
3 branches.
3 or 4. I
Yeah.
think there's kind of this one up here, the one over there, and there's 4. There's
Yeah.
one down by the art gallery too. So they're putting it up for, I don't know how long it'll be up, and people can view it. They have it in a glass showcase, and they can buy raffle tickets for it. So it'll be interesting to see how much money this brings in for them. And if it works out well for them, and they want another one sometime, I think I could be willing to do that. So that's what I've been working on. Let me get this off here. And Walter's been working sort of on
Sort of.
something. And
I was hoping I'd get it done.
well, you going to show it?
Yeah, well, no, it's you're.
Well, yeah, no, yeah,
your
like
shirt,
no, yeah,
right?
no. Yeah, my shirt.
I'm dawdling along with this.
Oh yes,
But
you're
yesterday I
done.
put on the pocket, so you can see where the pocket is. Not.
Well, no, you're not supposed to be able to see it because this is Walter's patented hidden pocket trick.
So it's there somewhere.
It's there where you can't even find it. You put it on. Yeah, you matched it up pretty good. So what? It's just got to have buttons.
Yeah, it just needs buttons.
And what color are the buttons?
I think I'm gonna put yellow.
Yellow one. Yes,
Maybe
I
red. But
no, I think yellow. Yeah, no, yeah, no.
I think yellow would look good.
Yeah, no, yeah, no. Yeah, I think yellow will good. And what's even better is going to look fantastic on me because everything does. So practically perfect in almost every way. Gail's here. Hi, Gail. Oh, Ingrid says they kicked her out of the car. Oh, yeah, that's right, because you're not up as far as Stephanie has to go. That's right. All about that. Stephanie says, oh my goodness, we left Ingrid in Raleigh. Shannon is chauffeuring. Okay, I was going to say, are you driving, Stephanie, and texting at the same time? Didn't think so. Hi, Shannon. Oh, Kim said she enjoyed yesterday. Very nice group of people. Yes, they are, Kim. They are a great bunch of people. I'm just catching up here, and people like the pattern and the shirt and everything, so that's nice. Oh, look, you're probably getting a commercial right now because I'm getting one on the monitor, an ad, but can't do anything about that, so save your breath. Okay, so what's coming up? Well, we've got sewing again with Stephanie and Stephen. This time we'll have Stephanie. Yay. Yeah, thank you for the one person who showed up when Stephanie wasn't there on Wednesday. That was really nice of you. Nah, there were more. But anyways, it is nicer when we have Stephanie with us, though. Takes the pressure off me. Let's see. So speaking of Stephanie, Stephanie is having a special event on this coming Friday night, March the 1st at 7 p.m. Stephanie, Shannon, Russ, and Walter and I will all be together again to celebrate Stephanie's milestone 20,000 subscriber celebration. So that's going to be lots of fun. And so that'll be live on YouTube. So please join us in the festivities. And I am sure there'll be lots of lively conversation and humor and whatnot. What is a whatnot?
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, there'll be some of that there too. And so I hope everybody can join us. And the link for it is in my show notes below, but of course you'll find the link for it on Stephanie's channel as well. Gail, I said hi to Gail. Cynthia's here. Hi, Cynthia. Had fun yesterday. That's great. Marilyn likes a cool shirt all ready for your upcoming trip down under. Yep. Shannon says hi. Hey. Hey, Shannon. Billy likes your shirt. Yes, you showed up. And I was watching your video yesterday of the quilts, and Russ had one up as well. Actually, two-parters on it. Boy, there were some really cool quilts in that show. I'd kind of forgot that it's the Modern Quilt Guild that puts that on. So, yeah, there's a lot of really interesting things in there. Kind of inspiring for it. But I was glad that you guys were able to show us some of it. Looked like you were having a good time too. I saw that thumbnail with a bunch of you with the big oversized notions. Russ with his scissors and the big spool of thread and everything like that. So, yep. What a motley crew. There. Got it. Wish we could have been there. But, oh well, maybe another time. Always lively conversation, very interesting topics. Oh, yeah. I don't know if we really have a topic. Stephanie didn't say we had a topic. I think we're going to just all, honor her achievement, bow down to her, we're not worthy, all that kind of stuff, We're going to make her feel like a celebrity. So, and I did hear that. I think some people came up to you bunch when you were at QuiltCon and paid you some celebrity time. Or celebrity. It's a new word. It's a halfway between celebrity and celebration. I make them up all the time. Keep on the same page. Celebrity. Yeah, on there. So that's always fun. Alice is here from Florida. Hi, Alice. And there's more coming next week. Because on Tuesday night at 7 p.m., we're celebrating Shannon's 1,000 plus 1,000 subscribers and her birthday too. So we're having a birthday party with Shannon. And so there'll be a whole bunch. She's invited a whole bunch of people for the live, but some of us will be on it with Zoom, but everybody else will be able to connect in on YouTube Live. I don't have a link for the YouTube Live yet. I'm not sure if Shannon's had a chance yet. She's been busy at QuiltCon to post a thumbnail or anything up there. So do go to Shannon's channel, though, because I'm sure if it's not there right now, I was going to check before we went to air today, but I've been playing. I'll tell you about that in a minute. So I didn't get a chance. But I'm sure she will have something up there for you to link to. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun this week. A lot of things happening. What are you looking around at? Is there a squirrel in the room?
Yeah. Just looking around.
Our screen is there. It's there. Jesus. I'm telling you.
I get bored when you're talking.
Well, why don't you speak up now? I'll wait. What would you like to say?
No, I don't want to say anything.
Then why are you complaining?
Let you yak.
You make that sound like a bad thing. I know what we could do on the live. We could sit here for an hour and a half and just stare at the screen. Our eyes. Yeah, that might be fun. Mary's here. Howdy from summer in Kansas. Okay, so everybody's got warm weather. Well, we got nice weather. It's just cold-ish.
Yeah,
well, it's not that cold, I guess. Yeah.
It's not even freezing.
Okay, so I've talked about Sewing with Stephanie and Steven. I talked about Stephanie's live. I talked about Shannon's celebration. Russ is almost there.
He was 10 off last I looked.
Oh, was it? Because last night I looked, it was about 988, so he's got a few more. So you're almost there, Russ. Almost there, and then we have another blowout. So Walter's busily reaching into his pocket to either adjust his underwear
I was going
or
to check to see if there's any news.
Any news?
Yeah, on Russ's channel.
Ooh, okay. Well, while you're doing that, let's talk about the pop-up sew day we had yesterday. We had a good turnout. We had, I think at the height, we had about 33. And that's a pretty good. And we had some new people there, and I hope they had a good time. And as always, there was lots of lively conversation, and we talked about all kinds of different topics, and we did do some mutual enabling for people to buy, things that they hadn't seen before. And yeah, it was a fun
Seems like
day.
it's not cooperating with.
What? What's you having a problem with your
Yes,
technology?
yes, I am.
Well, you're an idiot.
I am.
Really.
No, it's got 993 now.
Ooh, 7 away. 7 away. If anybody's on here that has not subscribed to Russ's channel,
Which is Quilt Meets World.
yeah, as soon as we're done, you can go there and click on his subscribe button. Notice I said after we're done. All right. So, what else have we got? So the pop-up so days I said was great. I got a lot done, but now I have to rip it all out. So I don't know if that was a good thing. And next, another event coming up for the gentlemen, our monthly men's sew day on 1 week from today, March the 3rd, Sunday. It's always on the first Sunday of every month. An email invitation will go out to those of you that are on my mailing list, but any guys that hear this or see this that aren't on the mailing list, don't worry. There's a link in the show notes below. You can join us, and you don't have to be there all day. It's like a pop-up sew day. Come and go as you please. So, yeah, hope we'll see a couple of you anyways. We don't have a big crowd, okay? All right, and long distance spring retreat, the Idiot Quilter Spring Retreat, May the 4th. There will be a little bit of information I'll put up before we go to Australia, just to let you know some dates, like when you can register for it and all of that kind of thing. And then when we get back from Australia, which is the middle of April, I'll be putting out all kinds of stuff about it and getting people registered for it and the whole bit. I just do want to say one thing, because a few people still don't get this. If you register for the retreat, that is a commitment. I hold you to it, because that means I've reserved you a spot. Now, with the retreat, unlike the bash, I do establish a formal waiting list. Once it fills up, then anybody who wants to come to it, I put on the waiting list. And if somebody has to drop out, and hopefully they give me lots of warning about that, then I open up the spot and I'll put it to the first person on my waiting list, and so on. Now, I do have a blacklist, I'm sorry to say, but I have a few people. Some of them are from the last bash who took a spot, and even to this date have never sent me an email or explained why they didn't show up. And there's some of those people in the chat today. I hate to say it. You know who you are. So you will not be getting an invitation to the retreat. And yeah, and I do that because basically, I mean, I know life happens, but common courtesy, you've heard me say this before, says if something comes up at the very last minute that is unavoidable, like hospitalization, major illness, a tragedy within the family, I mean, I'm talking life-changing events here, okay? Then it would be really nice if you would send me, if it has to be after the fact, send me a quick little email just to let me know that the reason you weren't there, so I don't put you on the blacklist. But as I said, right now, as we speak,
Look, I mean, if something happens on the day that's major, but I mean, if you're not just gonna show up on the day and you don't know until the last day or something like that, then it's courtesy to cancel ahead of time.
I mean,
or at least say, I'm not sure if I can make it that day.
Some of those people that are on the blacklist were people who desperately wanted to be at the bash. They told me this. They even contacted other people to find out how to contact me. And I put them on the list, fully expecting them to be there, and they didn't bother, and they said nothing. And as I said, there's a couple of you sitting in the chat right now. And I'm not going to call you out, because I'm sure you know who you are. But if you want to get off the blacklist, you will need to send me an email and give me an explanation, because to me, I'm not willing to take a chance on you for the retreat, because you might do the same thing. The retreat is free. The bash was free. I never charge for them. But I also have guest speakers as well on this. So not only are you taking a spot from somebody who really genuinely wants to be there? But the guest speakers are not being paid by me. They're doing it out of the goodness of their heart. And they're putting a lot of time and effort into what they're going to be doing. And so it behooves us not to be there and appreciate their efforts for the retreat. So basically, in my way of thinking, when somebody doesn't show up and didn't tell me why, or didn't give me any warning that they couldn't for whatever reason, that what they're saying is, it doesn't matter. It's not important. It's all about them. So, yeah. I'm sorry I have to sound that way about it, but it is the reality. Okay? It's the only way I can make it fair. If I was charging money for it with and you couldn't get a refund back on your money no matter what, I think some people would think twice before they decide, I don't feel like it today. I'll just blow it off. It's not important. So, yeah. But enough about that right now, because I'm a little bit perturbed that there are a couple of people on here that are on the blacklist. I mean, you've got nerve. That's all I can say is you've got a lot of nerve. So let's get off that topic and go on to something else. What are people saying here? See, how was your colonoscopy? My prep is tomorrow and the big day is Tuesday. It's a piece of cake. Not a problem. Love the drug they give you. Yep. Never slept so well in my life. And, the only thing I was disappointed about was waking up and no juice box or cookies. Okay. But, it was not a problem. And actually tomorrow I call the doctor the ass doctor, to confirm my appointment for the follow-up discussion, which is going to be done virtually a week from tomorrow. So I already have the date and the time and everything for that. They've already contacted me, but I'm supposed to confirm it again tomorrow. So I will do that. But it was fine. Nothing to worry about. I don't know. Have you ever had one before, Mary? They're piece of cake. Piece of cake. Yep. So Heidi, you're right. Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. Oh, there's Em. Hi, Em. Haven't seen you in a while. Pace is here. Or how he says, and Cinco de Mayo, Eve. Oh, okay. I didn't know that was Cinco de Mayo as well. Ole. Andy says, like sending an RSVP for a wedding reception, not showing up. Exactly, Andy. Exactly. And Pace loves your shirt that you're making, Walter, and loves my quilt too. So great. I'm glad you love them. And that pattern, by the way, the one I'm working on now, will be available the week before. That's my plan, before the retreat. I'm not going to be doing anything with it during the retreat. For one, I'll be too busy doing other things. And plus, we've got 3 brilliant presenters as well. So no need for me to do anything except sit in the background and make sure everything's running smoothly. But it will be available. Just like my first pattern. My first pattern is still available for anybody that wants it but didn't get it. There's a link for it in the show notes below. It's on my Google site, so you can download it. It's free. Do with it what you want. I've been seeing some of the quilts that people have been making from my pattern, and they make me very proud because what they have picked for colors and the whole bit, they look really great with it. So, it means then that my pattern, I did something right in the writing of it, which is good. And nobody said they found anything in it that was a mistake. So I'm very happy about that. So that's why I'm spending the time with this second one too, because I want to make sure it goes well. All right. So, Mary says, yeah, she has had them. Just hate the prep. This is my last one. Yeah, the prep isn't all that much fun.
No, it's not terrible, but you're kind of stuck at home. So
yeah, you don't be too far away from the toilet. Actually, I found this time that I didn't know if the stuff was really working. I guess I'm not as full of shit as Walter says I am. So, yeah, really funny. Okay, so what are we talking about today? Stupid people. And there seems to be a lot of them lately. They're everywhere. They're on YouTube. They're in the news. They're on the streets. They might be in your neighborhood, probably are. So we thought we'd pull up some interesting ones to talk about stupid people. And then I thought I might share a few of my stupid moments as well. Walter doesn't have any stupid moments, but he better be thinking of some. Oh, can't think of a stupid moment you've ever had? Don't make me pick them. Okay, so let's do a little bit of a follow-up on the charities thing. All right. So you know that I have been trying to donate a couple of quilts to Project Linus, right? And actually, I have a picture here of. Oh no, I don't have it. Yeah,
they're on the road. Stupid people.
Oh yeah, they're on the road too. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, well, I don't have a picture of this. I'll show it probably on Tuesday on Idiot Quilter. But it's one you have seen before, probably don't remember. It was a Lone Star. No, sorry. It was it's the Dart one, the one that had it's kind of modern looking, had stripes across it. And then the other one is the cat one, the one that you guys picked that you wanted when we had the little challenge with the 4S Club. And so I thought both of those would be appropriate for a teenager on Project Linus, the right size for it, and the whole bit. So I tried to get a hold of the representative. I sent her 2 emails, got nothing. I phoned her. I got her voicemail, left a message, heard nothing. I finally got so frustrated with this. That was over a 3-week period that I contacted the head of the Project Linus for Canada. Because her contact information was listed on their website. Well, I got a call. I told her what the situation was. And I did kind of put in a little thing going, this is my first time dealing with your organization, and it's making me question, whether or not you have, I forget how I worded it, but basically your organizational skills. Like, do you really want us to donate, or is this a joke? Kind of a thing. I didn't say it quite that way. I was a little bit more diplomatic. I can be if I have to be. So I got it. I got contacted by the lady within an hour. She's saying, oh, she would definitely reach out to the one that was the representative of my area and find out what's going on. Like I did say, well, maybe she's on holidays or something, but are we ever far away from our email, even when we're on holidays? I don't know, but maybe she was. I don't know. Anyways, I got a call that afternoon from this woman. She was apologetic. She says, well, I sent you an email back. Stupid people. She did not. I am sorry, she did not. I said to her, oh, well, I didn't see it. I see all my emails. My email is on. If I'm up and awake, my email is on, and it checks. My email automatically checks for new messages every 5 minutes, and I usually answer it as soon as a thing comes up. If I need to give it an answer, I've written back to it. Okay, I've always been that way with emails. Okay, Walter can attest to it.
Yeah, when you used to teach online, it used to be really annoying because emails would come through in the middle of dinner and you run it downstairs.
Yeah.
Doing the email.
And in those days, I was getting like 150 emails.
That was before you had a smartphone. So
yeah. So anyways, and also I know it didn't go to spam. And this is how I know it didn't go to spam. Because the lady that was supposed to, I was supposed to give these quilts to, she has the same internet provider as I do. It's simpatico.ca, exactly the same. It did not go into my spam. I can see my spam. My system's set up so I can see my spam, and I examined everything. No, she did not send me an email. Okay? Why is this the act of a stupid person? Oh, and by the way, I've made arrangements to deliver the quilts to her on Tuesday at noon. So, good. They're going to go to where I want them to go now. But anyways, why is this a stupid move? Well, here's why. And this is beyond this particular individual, but I'm sure we all know people who operate in certain organizations. And given that even if they're volunteers, and she is a volunteer for this, um, it's stupid not to answer your emails in a timely fashion because you represent an organization. And that organization, well, right now, I'm going to wait and see. I'm donating these 2 quilts because I said I would. But I don't know. I might in the future, or I might look for other sources because I'm not impressed. You know, they're there pleading for donations and things, and then leave me hanging for 3 weeks. That's stupid. That's stupid to do something like
And it's
that.
also in nowadays kind of stupid to say, "Oh, I sent you an email," right? Well, a lot of times if you send somebody an email, you wait a couple of days, and if you don't hear back from them, you send them back another email, or you check your email to see if you got it right, type of thing, right? But that sounds to me like, I'll just say I sent an email, and
Well, I call that the Scarlet um, way of handling emails. And fiddly dee, I'll think about that tomorrow.
I mean,
Yeah.
I had one a while back that I ordered some fabric from a store, and I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and they didn't. I waited for well over a week, and they didn't send me anything say that they've got it shipped or they're processing it or anything like that. So I contacted them again, and they go, "Oh well, we tried to send you an email. I sent you an email on that," and then they came back and says, "Oops, I forgot to press send."
And that happens. However, okay, this is why this whole thing with email and doing them in a timely fashion is stupid. It's stupid for you to turn around and make the excuse because people do. Oh, well, I sent you an email. I guess it may have gone into your spam. People can check that. And I do. Okay? Like that's just stupid to think that in this day and age people are really stupid about how email works. Most people, now unless you're extremely elderly and have been locked away in a seniors facility with no access to computers or nothing, everybody knows how to use email. Okay? It's a necessity. It is a necessity. We can't escape it. So anybody who turns around and says, "Oh," and uses that as an excuse, that's stupid. And as I said, if people don't know you well enough, or if you represent an organization, then people are going to have not a very positive outlook on that organization or on you as a person. You know, so I think it's stupid to do that. Now, what's even more stupid are the ones who turn around and go, "Oh, yeah, I didn't get to it. You know, I don't usually check my email for 3, 4 days or a week at a time." That's stupid. That's stupid because most of our communication these days is carried on in electronic format. Okay. So I don't know. But, anyways, I thought I would mention it because I have also heard some rumors from various other individuals that have dealt with Project Linus before. And I'm not getting a really good feeling about this organization. Which,
So at least our branch of it.
yeah, well, actually, I've heard about other branches too, and other spots from people. Um, so I don't know. I mean,
You want when you give out a quilt that you've made and everything, you want it to go to someplace that cares.
yeah, yeah, that's right. So, and this is an organization that it kind of appeals to me because, it's kids, but more so it's kids like at the age level that I taught because people forget about the teenagers. And I've said this before. There's always quilts that are donated for toddlers and for babies, and they're donated into hospitals. And then it jumps the other way, it's donated to elderly people in homes, or oops, there's that thumb again. That kind of thing and everything. And people seem to forget that, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds you know, it's a hard life when you're that age. And so, you know, a quilt would be nice for them. And I specifically asked about that, and they said, oh, yes, please. We definitely need quilts for teenagers. We don't get many. Maybe you don't get many because you don't bother to follow up on the emails. And that's what Barb says. She says she should have sent a follow-up email like, I haven't heard back from you. Are you still interested in making a donation? Yeah, I would do that. If I write somebody an email and I don't hear back from them in a timely fashion, and it's something like I need to hear back from them, I will write them another email and say, you know, I sent you this before, check your spam. Okay, because some people don't realize that sometimes their emails do go to spam, but they should be checking it in this day and age, with the way, you know, we get so much crap through our email as well. But just to make sure, or do I have the wrong email address? And then, of course, that makes it really difficult sometimes. But sometimes an email I've sent will bounce back to me. And usually then I double check the email address and put my thumbs up, and to make sure that, and I have found, I have made a mistake on my mailing list, for example. It'll bounce back to me when I send out a bunch of them. One I'll look at and go, oh, I've transposed a letter somewhere in there. So I do my due diligence, you know, to make sure that if I'm going to send something to somebody or reply to something, they're going to get it. Hi, Dale. Andy says, when I was working, the email system allowed for return receipts, so we could tell if the email had been received and opened. Actually, Andy, I can do that on mine. And I haven't set it up because, to be honest, I kind of find those annoying when I get them. But I could see how in this case,
Yeah,
this might have been a good
used to
thing.
work that way on mainframe when computer systems first started doing email on mainframe systems, that internal computer systems and workplaces. The email was set up in such a way that there was an indicator on the email that would on the sent email that would show when it was opened and read. Right, so you could see if the person that received it, and that was usually in an office. But the stuff that they've got for our internet emails often don't have things that work that well.
No, because you don't get that. But boy, that would be good to have, though.
Because I mean, that would used to be really great in an office because you could see whether the person has actually opened it and read it.
Yeah. Well, Heidi says, yes, business and enterprise level email clients have that ability. Now I'm curious about Gmail. I haven't investigated.
Well, I've got Gmail, but I don't have a facility on there that does that.
Yeah. Pace said, or Candace says, it's very unprofessional even for a volunteer organization. Yeah. And you see, here's the stupid element that I'm bringing into this. It's stupid for someone to do that because it reflects on the organization. And if you're trying, especially an organization that's a charity and you're trying to get things into your organization, well, that's a way to kill it. Kill your donations, you know. Pace says, I was thinking of donating to group homes for youth and hospice centers, also cancer treatment centers for kids going through treatment. Nothing provides comfort like a quilt. Yeah, well, see, Project Linus, that's what they do with the quilts. I hear that one of the things they do with them, they give them to, they'll take them to cancer wards and that for young people, you know, for the reasons you've just said. They also will take them to fire halls and to cop stations as well, because, you know, in an accident situation or a domestic thing, cops have been called out where, you know, the kids are traumatized by whatever's going on. You know, they've got something they can throw over their shoulders while they're standing there, and apparently psychologically that's like a hug. It's like somebody cares and it helps. So, you know, yeah. So anyways, stupid thing there is, people, use your email effectively. Okay, so speaking of stupid, Walter found this one. Well, it's I've actually put the link to their YouTube channel. So you can check it out for yourself. It's called country something acre
Countryside Acres.
countryside acres. Yeah, countryside acres. But what is it?
Well, as family out in Alberta, which is a right-wing conservative type family, um, was a farm type group or something. It's a husband and wife and their 8 kids.
Everybody needs a hobby.
We're really upset that there was this pro LGBTQ atmosphere in Canada, and that people have been embracing the LGBTQ community, and we're really upset by this, and their moral values are being invaded and stuff like that. And they decided enough to take their kids and everything and move to Russia, where there is no LGBTQ values. And I'm going to myself, well, that's kind of an extreme move to get away from a society. Also, I guess the thing was the transgendered issues. And
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, they were drawing. And they also said in one part there was just far too many pride flags in Canada.
Yeah.
Okay, so you uproot your family of 8 kids and you trundle off to the other side of the world to Russia, which is not what we, very different from Canada, I think, So they have all these videos on there, and I guess they had what their bank
Their
accounts were frozen.
Because they have a large sum of money, I guess they were taking with them. And I guess the government there decided that, okay, where'd all this money come from that they've got? And I don't know if it's a laundering thing.
Well, that's what they said.
Yeah,
the video.
that's what they're saying, but who knows what goes on in Russia.
They were saying they get a lot, this family, they get a lot of small donations. Like they started a GoFundMe for this move. Now, I've been watching a couple of their videos of showing their life before they went to Russia. They were in Saskatchewan. They had a farm, a very prosperous farm by the looks of things. They were doing okay. They decided to sell everything and trundle off to Ontario to start again because they wanted a better environment. They said this for their children to grow up in. I mean, okay, if you were trying to get away from the LGBTQ stuff, don't come to Ontario, because out of all of the provinces, we probably are the most pro LGBTQ here, especially the closer you get to Toronto. Saskatchewan,
there's a lot of right-wing people in Saskatchewan. So.
And they moved to Manitoulin Island, which is off one of the big, in the Georgian Bay, which is one of the huge lakes off of the bigger lakes, the Great Lakes.
It's a fairly remote, somewhat remote.
It's very rural. And they started from the ground up. They had videos showing them building this huge house. And then they had their gardens, and they started to keep bees, and they were making honey, and they were making cheese, and they had livestock, which they brought the livestock from Saskatchewan with them and have added to it. They grew corn, had a lot of heavy farming machinery. And what you don't see in the video is, do they have migrant workers helping them during harvest time? Because how does this one man, his kids are all little, how does this one man run all of this? But that's all you see in the video. I'm sure there are other people involved, but he has all this really heavy specialized farming equipment, built this huge house and all that. Okay, we're not hurting for the money, all right, with all of this. So, and then at the end of that video, when they were showing all this new stuff they had built in that, they said, yep, we're selling it all. We're moving to Russia because we want our children to have a better life. That is something I've never heard anybody say on YouTube before or anywhere else. I'm moving to Russia for a better life.
Well, originally on one thing says to get away from all this LGBTQ and transgender stuff and stuff like that, and they want their kids to grow up in a healthy environment.
Yeah. Well, you see, the Russians take LGBT people, and they have outlawed any kind of pride celebrations, any kind of organizations involved with that and whatnot. They've put some in prison, things like that. Like so obviously they want it to go to a country that takes individuals from their society and persecutes them simply because they're under the rainbow, kind of a thing. So yeah, that tells you a lot about their mentality. But to me, the whole thing is really stupid because of their reason for going. They didn't say they were going there because, they had a better chance to start a farm up. They do plan to start a farm there again, but for better benefits, or I don't know, and apparently they got threatened by the Russian government about their YouTube videos. So
yeah, I guess at one point they posted a video that said they were really upset and they weren't happy about what was happening there, and that it was a mistake to move there and all this other stuff. And then that video was censored by the Russian government, and next thing you know, their videos were oh, we really like it here and all this other stuff. So I don't know what's really true. So
no, but they've got over 156,000 subscribers. They are monetized on their YouTube channel. Funny thing was, though, on some of their videos, I went down to read what people were saying about them, and there isn't any comments because they've said they've got the comments turned off. And I thought, well, maybe they had the comments turned off because, they said things about Russia. Maybe this was to protect, themselves from getting into hot water. But some of their videos do have comments turned on, and the comments are all written in Russian. And I don't know how much Russian they speak either. So, I mean, that's just stupid. The whole thing is just stupid. It's so stupid, though. I decided to subscribe to them.
Well, it's so stupid that
I want to watch more.
Stupid, I think, is that I don't think they're that stupid. Actually, I think maybe they're doing it to make money.
I was going to say, I think there's a plan here. I think there's a whole lot we don't know that's going on as well. I mean, raising 8 children is not easy. Funny, in those videos, I haven't come across one yet, says if he's got a job in Russia.
Yeah, well, supposedly they have 9 kids, and one kid was left behind.
Well, the oldest one they left.
Obviously, he didn't want to go. She didn't want to go.
So, I mean, from stupid people can come some smart children, I suppose, or at least one, maybe. Who knows? Maybe he's gay.
Or maybe he's left behind that they're funneling money through him.
Maybe he's the connection. Yeah, I think it's a boy. I think they said it was a boy. I'm not actually, though, when you think about it now, I'm not sure if I heard or not. Well, it doesn't matter, one or the other. Yeah, Heidi says she's been laughing at those twerps all day. And she says, show me on the
Mistruka doll where their pride flag will hurt you.
Oh, what's a Mistruka doll?
It must be one of those.
Is that one of those
nesting
dolls? Is that what they call those? Oh, yeah. Had some of those ones. But anyways, I just thought that was stupid. So if you want to watch something... Actually, the videos that I did watch were kind of interesting. I'll say that for it. So, I mean, maybe I'm stupid to subscribe to them because I want to hear more. Pat says, just so they do not come down to Kentucky. Oh, I don't think they're that stupid. Sorry, Pat. I hope the adults get their comeuppance, feel bad for the kids. Yeah, I don't know. But like Walter said, I suspect there's a whole lot more we don't know about in all of that. Oh, yeah, we're right. It's the nesting dolls. So another thing that's stupid but also tragic in the whole bit. I was going to talk about this last week, but of course everybody's heard about the shootings that went on during the celebrations after the Super Bowl, right? It was a bunch of teenagers got involved and shot and things like that. But why do people do things like that? Maybe sports incite violence. and that's stupid. And what's really stupid is when you put so much importance on a game. It's just a game that people get sucked in and start to believe that their life is going to be drastically altered if their team doesn't win or whatever. And to the point where you end up with violence afterwards. Now, I don't know if the shootings, I didn't hear whether the shootings were directly related to something with the Super Bowl or it was just because there were crowds and everything like that happening. And this day and age, if there's a crowd of people, now there's usually going to be violence, unfortunately. I don't know. But I just think the whole idea of putting so much emphasis on a game when there's so many other things in the world that need to have our attention put to, like world hunger, cure for cancer, all that kind of stuff, right? So I just think it's really stupid. And I think anybody who gets so involved in sports to the point where it takes over their life, and there could be a few of you on here, and sorry about that, but I mean what I say. If it takes over your life to such an extent that that's all that matters to you, like there was one guy who, he sold his house or something so he could buy a ticket.
Supposedly, yeah.
So they're like, how true it is, don't know. Haven't had it corroborated, but whatever. But
Well,
I mean,
who
I think
knows?
that's
Maybe he was
stupid.
in a divorce situation and he figured,
Well, maybe.
get back at the wife.
Yeah, well, that would be stupid too. So I don't know. There's other ways to get back at her. Hit her with a car. No. Catherine says, and not informed about current affairs. I'm not sure what that comment means. And not informed about current affairs. Not really sure, but whatever. Not really going to answer to that one for some reasons. Okay, so now here's got to be, I didn't know this is a thing. I'm sure you've heard about the incidents where people on planes are trying to open the door in mid-flight. Yeah, there's been at least 3 so far. Like, what are these, copycats or what? I mean,
Mary says the shootings didn't have anything to do with the parade.
why they chose that on me. They're charged 2 adults and 2 drivers in an hour away from there. Oh, yeah. So,
yeah, it's just maybe a crowd thing or something and a bunch of nuts.
Yeah, just a bunch of nuts. Well, they're stupid as well. But back to this, the opening the doors on planes. I mean, these people obviously have mental issues. But how easy is it to open one of those doors? It sounds like it's not that hard.
The doors, you can't open the doors if the cabin's pressurized. Those doors can't be opened if the cabin is pressurized. It's physically impossible because those doors are pressed against the outside of the plane. They can't be or are pressed so in such a way that they can't be opened when the plane is pressurized. But there's one incident in Toronto where the plane was still on the ground, right?
Yeah.
It was still on the ground. It wasn't in flight. And somebody opened the door and because they felt claustrophobic or something and were desperate to get out. And it was before they had left the gate and everything. And they opened the door and jumped out. Well, it's not exactly 10 feet off the ground. It's like 20 feet off the ground, if not more. And they did hurt themselves. But we don't know very much about that incident that happened. There was one that happened in Korea when they were landing, and the plane was still 600 feet off the ground, but the cabin wasn't pressurized. And somebody in the emergency row decided he wanted to get out early. And that's not funny, but open the emergency door. And it was able to open because the cabin wasn't pressurized, right? So, because they were in the process of landing.
But that's the stupid part of it. Somebody wants to get ahead of the crowd. Yeah, we all know. I hate it when you get on a plane and you're landing and, now people are getting ready to get off. And it's like, there's always those ones who have to be right out the door at the beginning. And they're pushing their way through. They're blocking the aisles and everything like that. I know. I just sit there. in the seat. And I wait until, because it does go out in a fairly orderly fashion most of the time. Yeah, it's going to take you a little bit of time. Now, of course, if you've got a stupid connecting flight that the plane was delayed and you've got 5 minutes to get from one end of a terminal to the other to catch it, I can kind of see that. But oftentimes we've been on planes where they have told people that if they are going for a connecting flight, that if they make themselves known to the flight attendant or whatever, the flight attendants kind of try to get them out as quick as they possibly
this guy
can.
claimed he was claustrophobic and he needed to get out right away.
What, the one that was
Opened the door, but this was a plane landing. It was an Asian guy, and the plane was landing in Korea.
Yeah, but is that the one that was trying to get out first?
No, what?
That's
Yeah,
the
that's
same guy.
the first
That's
one.
the same
Yeah.
guy.
And,
Oh,
and
okay.
they ended up landing with the door open, and like these people were being whipped by the air coming in through the plane because once the door was open, they couldn't close it again.
Like, it's just, it boggles the mind. It really does. But has this been happening? Does this happen on a little bit more of a regular basis than we know about, or is
And we're
it
just
suddenly?
hearing
And
about
we're
it?
just hearing about this now because suddenly it's like we've heard about 3 of them, anyways, in the last 2 weeks or so. So like it's like, oh my God, this is
I mean,
a
there's
thing.
been other ones where they've found people trying to open the door in the middle of a flight, but they can't get it open because it's pressurized.
The
right?
flight
But,
attendants need to be armed with a tranquilizer
yeah,
gun,
I know.
little pistol. No, sit down. No, I don't want
Says-
to. You got now.
Sue in Northfleet says, Sue Northfleet says, in Kansas City, one man was charged, got mad because he felt an other one was staring at him. So he pulled out a gun. Well, how to get a gun on
Yeah.
in the first place, and started shooting.
No, I don't think he was on a plane. I don't think she means he was on a plane.
Oh,
He was in Kansas City.
oh, okay.
Yeah, so he pulled out a gun and started shooting. It all went downhill from there. And I noticed that, Mary said the shootings didn't have anything to do with the parade. Why they chose that location is beyond me. They're charged 2 adults and 2 juveniles in an hour away from there. In an hour.
Yeah,
think
well,
I'm
we
an
were
hour away.
on a plane going, I don't know, I think we were going to Britain one time. And there was, remember the one where a woman, I think a woman was going into the overhead cabinet, ruffling stuff around up there. And the guy that was sitting in the middle seat says to her, keep your hands off my effing stuff or I'm going to hit you.
Yeah.
Right? So, then she said, well, she got scared to sit next because she was sitting next to him, got scared to sit next to him. So that all went downhill and they ended up escorting the guy off.
Yeah. But in the meantime, it causes a lot of problems for, the rest of the passengers too, because sometimes these things delay flights or even end up getting the flight canceled, depending on the severity of the situation and the whole bit. So, like, really, stupid is as stupid does. Thimble, hook, and shuttle. Oh, that's Iser. Okay. That name change. Nancy, guess who Nancy's here? And then Mary says to Sue, she heard it was a domestic dispute that started elsewhere and ended up there. Okay. Mary B says, oh shoot, late again to the party. I'll have to watch the recording to see what I missed. Well, you're going to miss our whole discussion about stupid people. And, people who come late. I didn't say it. I'm just joking with you, Mary. It's okay. Meant an hour away. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant, Mary. The other Mary. Yeah, so I mean, but we're about to take a flight, a long flight, and people are stupid at airports and then getting on planes. You've all seen it if you've been on a plane. You know that you're going to be searched. You are told, there are signs, what you can and cannot take in your carry-on, and you're supposed to clean out your pockets. Anybody who's been to an airport at least once in their life know that the standard rule is you've got to empty your pockets and put them in the little bucket that's there. You have to take off a coat if you're wearing a coat and put it in the bucket. You have to have your laptop out or that so they can, not that they often do, because I've had my stuff out before and they never look at it. But you know, you have to do this. So you're always in the line. You get a little impatient because you've probably been in a long line. You finally get up there, and the Nimrod in front of you looks at them and does nothing.
Yeah, I was in line in one of those going through the security one time, and this older guy ahead of me at the time they start yanking through his carry-on bag, and he had all these big bottles, good sized bottles of like one was like a deodorant or what do you call it?
Seniors moment happening here. Okay,
No,
let's
no,
do
no,
fine.
not
Is
cologne,
it this big?
cologne or whatever, right?
Got the
And
word.
this
2
great big
points.
bottle with the teeny tiny bit of liquid in the bottom, right? And they kicked him off. They yanked the stuff off him, and he said, "Well, you're only allowed like 30 milliliter bottles." And he goes, "Well, there's no more than 30 milliliters in the bottom bottle." They meant the entire bottle.
They have pictures.
Yeah, I know.
For those that
and they're
can't
supposed to
read.
be in a sort of like a little pouch, right? Well, this guy's like totally out to lunch, and they ended up spending 15 or 10 minutes in front of me, yanking through his bag, looking for all these bottles.
I mean, but you know this. If you have flown since the beginning of this century, you know these things. I mean, the one thing though that I find on the other end of it, on the authorities part, is you never know. Do I have to take off my belt and my shoes, or do I just have to take off my belt, or can I leave it on? And there is never a sign that tells you. So you're looking ahead in the line, trying to figure out what other people are doing. That doesn't help because the people in front of you are just as stupid. They don't know what to do either. And, you know, so I mean, the authorities, would it kill them to have a sign that says all of these things you can't have?
Of course, that assumes they can read.
Well, yeah. I mean, they do in some cases. I have seen signs, but for it. But in other cases, no, nothing around. Don't know. And I mean, have you ever tried to ask them when you get up there? Because you get attitude. Like, then they treat you like you're stupid. Excuse me, should I take off my shoes? And then what I usually do is I take off my shoes anyways before I get up there because I figure, well, fine. They're probably going to ask me to do that. So I don't want to hold up other people, so I'll have them off. But then you feel stupid. You're the only one standing there in line with your bloody shoes off. And, you know, so, yeah. Airports make people stupid. They really do. The way that they're set up, at least the Toronto International, they have signs for some things that take you nowhere. It's never the same configuration twice. You now are supposed to go to those kiosks for stuff, and it tells you do this, do that, and the other thing. Well, of course, that doesn't happen. And then there's nobody ever standing around there to help you with it. So yeah, I mean, take your intelligence and check it outside of the airport when you get there, because whether you're really, you've got a genius IQ or just average, you're going to feel like a complete idiot in the airport, and no one's going to help you. That's just the way it works. So yeah, stupid things there. So I'm looking forward to our flight to Australia. For how many hours are we flying?
21.
21 hours of sheer stupidity. Thank
And
God there's
hopefully
booze.
somebody doesn't get irate on the plane.
Oh God,
or
no.
something.
Geez, just what we need. That'll be another thing. I know one thing that's stupid too is the airport's not checking your carry-on bags. You know, you're supposed to be a certain size, and then they let people come in with 3 suitcases and take up all the space
In the overhead.
in the
bins.
overheads. God, I'm glad I'm not a flight attendant. I would just halfway across the Atlantic, I'd open a window and shove someone out. I mean, you know, kind of a thing, like crepes. Pat says, back to the brilliant Canadian folks who want to move to Russia. At least we Kentuckians do not wish to seek their fortunes in Russia. Well, that's true, Pat, but I'm not sure if anybody in Kentucky knows where Russia is. So, yeah, Pat said, be nice, Stephen. I was. You know me. I'm just joking. Hi, Angel. And Mary, yeah, I'm just joking too. So I know you probably know that, but I don't consider, there's only one person on here today that I consider somewhat stupid. Actually, not stupid, just rude. But I'm not going to say who that is. And that one hasn't seemed to figured it out yet either. And Mary said, how about that door that flew off the airplane and come to find out it was never bolted into the plane? That's not only stupid, but so dangerous. Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
flying Boeing.
Really? Well, yeah, but it could happen in any airline because, your airlines, your products are only as smart as the smartest person you've got in your company. So what's that saying about Boeing? Adam, hi Adam. There's a very famous comedian in the UK that said there was lady boarding a plane with over 100 milliliters of makeup. He said if she was carrying that much makeup, maybe she wasn't fit for flying. Yeah, could be. The days of flight attendants just serving drinks and food are long gone. Yeah, they have to, rough job. I mean, it's got to be a rough job.
We've seen some of
Yeah.
the flight attendants get asked questions, and you wonder where you shake your head out with some of the things that they ask.
Yeah. Well, Brenda says, we paid extra so we don't have to wait in a long line. Worth the money as we go right through. Well, Brenda, that's because you're special.
Are you allowed to carry your Costco Cokes?
Yeah. But what is stupid, though, not what Brenda's saying, but what makes me think, how they start to board people in an orderly fashion and they call out what they're doing. And there's always some in the line who are trying to get on ahead of everybody else.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I have heard that in the American carriers, you can pay extra so that you can get knocked up to a line that get you up further up, get you boarded faster. The Canadian Airlines don't do that. The only way you get extra, you get on earlier on a Canadian airline, is that you have to pay for a business class seat or
you're in a wheelchair and you're drooling,
or a premium economy seat. If you're in economy, you have to line up as according to your reserved seat, which all our airlines in Canada have reserved seating too.
Yeah. Hi, Kathy.
Some of the airlines in the U.S. do not have reserved seating.
Oh, geez.
It's a free-for-all.
Ooh, cattle crawl. Like, oh, now there's where you're going to have fights on that one. No, it's my seat. No, get your hands on it. It's not first. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Iser says, one commentator said that stupid family should have moved to Florida. Yeah, true. Yeah, Iser says, used to love flying. Yeah, now it's hell. Elsa's here. Hi, Elsa. We got to board first because her son has severe autism. Yeah, so basically that's what I'm saying. You have to have some form of or be with somebody who has a medical issue, and then they board you on. And I don't have a problem with that.
So you hit your head, you hit your husband with a hammer, and
then I'm with him. Yeah. All right. But I don't have any problem with that. I don't have any problem with them boarding, really elderly people either, which should be us, I mean, hello, honey. Yeah. Just as an aside, Walter went to Mary Brown's and got his chicken sandwiches today for lunch, and he got a senior's discount and he didn't even have to ask for it. You've arrived when they know for sure you look like an old fart. Yeah, no two ways about that one. Teresa says, how about the airline that went broke this week? One plane was loaded and ready to take off when it was canceled.
Yeah, but it was a super cheap airline anyway. They're bound to go out of business in Canada.
Yeah, but the point there is they've got people already on the plane. They know that plane's going nowhere, but they just go ahead with it anyways.
Well, that's the problem is they haven't told the lower staff yet that that's going to happen.
Yeah, Iser says she's handicapped and she still gets pushed by rude people. Yeah, true. Yeah. He says, I always measure my carry-on bag. It's amazing what they allow other people to get away with. Yeah, although the last flight we were on, the one when we went to Vancouver.
Yeah, actually, they were pulling, there was this one girl, and she had a huge duffel bag. It was big. And I looked at it and I said, that's no way.
I think she had a body in it, but we
that
can't be sure.
no way. And then on top of that, she had this other bag that was supposedly her personal item, which is almost as big as a carry-on. And so they took her aside and said, nope, that's too big.
You have to check that. Yep. And she put up a fight.
Yeah.
But she didn't win. And I was really happy to see that.
In fact, they were really checking everybody's size of their bags. They had their little bag thing, and they were shoving it in there. And anything that wasn't big enough, they were checking them.
Yeah. And really,
and I think that's what they should do.
They should be doing that. I hope they do that on the flight we're on too. You know, I mean, yeah, it is a bit of a pain in the butt to have to go and wait for your bag to come out on the big thing going around. And I get a little anxious with that because...
No, actually, you know why they're doing it. Because all of them don't want to pay the $25 to
Yeah, I know. Because, which, you know... Really, there's a stupid thing. The airlines could avoid a lot of the shit that they get from people all the time if they basically, in the price of the ticket, put in the price for checking a bag. And then...
Well, no, actually, that still won't work, because even in the days when they used to be free, a lot of people are doing carry-ons because they didn't want to put it on the belt. And didn't want to check it. So actually, my theory is what you should do is say, yeah, check bags maybe are free, or check bags are $10 and carry-ons are $50.
Well, I'll pay $50 for a carry-on, my little bag.
No,
but actually,
not the little bag, but I meant the big bag that they put over top of it.
Yeah, like, I don't know. But you see, I think the people who run the airlines anyways are pretty stupid.
Well, see, they have to pay. The airlines have to are all looking at whatever the competition is doing, right? So
yeah,
they're following suit.
Well, it's all a money making business, of course. Yeah, so
if one place is allowing free check bags and the other places, and then everybody's going to the other place or whatever.
Well, that's not stupid. That's smart. Maybe they should put that into their business plan. Yeah, if they want to make money. Andy says, I worked for an airline, and flight attendants used to call the ill-mannered passengers bus people, as in people who historically traveled by Greyhound and Travelways bus.
Well, I have a feeling nowadays they're all bus people.
Yeah, I think so. I wouldn't be as polite to call them bus people.
I've always liked to be nice to the flight attendants.
Well,
I don't think it hurts to be nice to them.
You're 30,000 feet in the air. You're with those people. You really, you're a captive audience. I think it behooves you not to be nice to the flight attendant, because you don't know what they're going to slip into your food, kind of a thing. Be nice to the servers. Okay. Melissa says, good. I'm tired of not being able to fit my bag in because they hog all the room. Yeah, that's the big problem. Southwest Grant says, hi, Grant says, still has 2 free check bags. Well, we get 2 free check bags on the flight to Australia, don't you?
Yeah, we do.
But that's also because we're going premium economy.
Yeah.
That almost sounds like an oxymoron. Premium economy. But we can order our food in advance. We just found out. That's something we've never been able to do before.
Yeah, we've never been on premium.
I guess we've never been on premium economy. We've always been on pterodactyl airlines.
Yeah, we've always been on the lower end of the bus.
Yeah, when they say, could you give us a hand? There's a couple of holes just below you on the floor for your feet. Could you just put your feet through that and run a little bit until we get into the air? Thank you. Thank you for flying pterodactyl. Yeah. Teresa says, I wouldn't even take the bus when I was in college and broke. Was it the short bus, Teresa?
Yeah, see, Southwest you don't get assigned seats.
Yeah, okay.
Well, on Air Canada or whatever, they don't assign seats either unless you pay for them.
Yeah, you have to pay for them. Yeah. And how much does it cost?
I think they upped it again. I think it's about $50 a seat. $40 a seat or something.
They just nickel and dime
it
you
used to be
death.
$20 a seat. However, if you book premium, then you get free. You're allowed to book your seats for free.
So we didn't have to pay for booking our seats.
Not extra, no.
Okay. You start off with making it sound like, yeah, we had to pay for that.
No,
Then
if
you
you
turn around and
book
say,
economy, you have to
that's
pay
not what you
extra for
started
your
the
seats.
phrase
If you
with.
book premium economy,
You're
you don't.
stupid. You're so stupid. You know, I might be an idiot, but I can learn not to be. Stupid is forever. So there you go. Yeah, so anyways, there's all kinds of things about stupid things that happen on airplanes that you could talk about. Now, here's another thing. This is a serious stupid. All right. Again, we're going through another big rash of new scams, of course. And we were watching something the other night. This woman, this wasn't an email scam or an internet scam, it was a service scam. Her refrigerator stopped working. So she went on Google to find a local repair company. She picked the first one on the Google list. Okay, first of all, you never pick the first thing that comes up on Google. If you look at them very carefully, those are usually paid advertisements. Those companies have paid for that spot. And it doesn't mean, but I think some people associate because they're higher up on the list that they must be very popular and good. No, they paid for that spot. So she picked the first one that came up, and it was called like A1 Appliance Repair. Okay. And so she called them up. They said they could come out and they could look at her refrigerator for a fee, but most of them have that, a diagnostic fee, right? So they came out and looked at it, and well, she never did get it fixed for months and months, but they took was it $1,000? They wanted $1,000 from her before they would do any repairs on it and the parts. She never heard from them again. She lost the money. She tried to contact them. I think she did get a hold of somebody, according to this report, who told her that she wasn't getting anything.
No, they told her she could have $400 back, but she couldn't complain.
Yeah, but she couldn't complain or go to anybody and file a complaint, a formal complaint with anything. So she got ripped off with that. Well, okay. Not saying that it couldn't happen to anybody with some companies, but first of all, you don't pick the first one. Second of all, you look at the reviews on a legitimate review site, not the company's site, okay? Because obviously the company's not going to post bad reviews, okay? They're all going to be glowing. You talk to other people in one form or another. You get references, basically, for these companies.
And don't give them a huge deposit.
And don't give them any money. Like a deposit or anything like that. I mean, if a company is worth their salt, they won't ask you for a deposit. If they do ask you for a deposit, it's a minimal amount, and you get a receipt and you get all the information from them and the whole bit. I mean, that's stupid. She got scammed. But we know there's other ones that are really stupid. Like, okay, red flag maybe if somebody says, oh, yeah, in order for me to repair your computer, I need to have access to it remotely. No. No. I mean, would you let somebody into, well, people have let people into your house you don't know to look at your equipment. There was a scam going around for a few years back where they were doing an energy survey of your home. And they would like to see your latest copy of your gas bill, your hydro bill, and that, and they could come in and look at your appliances and things and advise you as to how you could save money on all of this. No, they were trying to sell you a product that they wanted a lot of money for, and the fine print you were paying every month for the rest of your life. How do I know that? My parents bought a new furnace that way. They were still paying for it when we sold the house. I got rid of it. I got it paid off and
well, luckily they got it from
a reputable company,
somewhat reputable company. But all they did was they wanted your parents sending me money, so they wanted the cheapest way out.
Yeah,
which they thought was to pay it monthly.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, and then of course if they want you to pay in gift cards, from Walmart. Like the CRA, we have the CRA. It's like the IRS in the States, okay? Our tax thing. They'll call you up and say, oh, there was a mistake on your income tax refund last year. You owe us $5,000. But you can pay that in Walmart and Home Depot gift cards. And people do this. One thing though I've been hearing though is that in stores now, when someone comes in and buys a whole lot of gift cards, they will question them to find out why they're buying those so many cards and the whole bit. And usually, you know, it's an older person too, because that's the ones they feed on, saying, well, you know, I've got to do this because of that. And they go, no, 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 no. You're being scammed. Report it to the cops. Do not do that. So I have to say that's smart. That's smart of those stores, the retail stores, to spot that. Hopefully, whoever the employee is at the checkout or doing that has been trained to do that.
Yeah, and I think the banks are on alert too. If somebody comes in and wants to take a large sum of money, for especially an elderly person, for a large sum of cash or something for something,
Yeah.
and they'll question for what. But these scammers get the seniors to tell them a lie.
Yeah, I
They'll
know.
say,
Well,
oh, well, don't tell them you're taking it out for this. Tell them you're taking them out for something else, because otherwise they won't give you the money.
no. And you know, I can understand why maybe elderly people who are suffering from, you know, maybe early stages of Alzheimer's or dementia and that, because that's who these scammers are feeding on as well. But I warned my mother when she was living in her apartment alone, and I said to her, Mom, if somebody calls you up and tells you you need this or you should do this or that, I said, you hang up. They're a scammer, and let me know about it. I said, do not agree to anybody. And if anybody asks you for money or anything, do not give anybody money. Just hang up on them. And so luckily she never did get scammed, except there was one lady who used to read her Bible passages on the phone. And that one, I always wondered about that. My mother, oh, she's so nice and everything, and we have a nice conversation. And I'm thinking, okay, it may have been an outreach program, but I said to my mother, you know, well, who's this person? Where are they calling from? Like, have you got a number for them? What? My mother was playing very evasive with me because my mother was like that. She wouldn't want me to go in it because I'd embarrass her or something. Well, better to be embarrassed than ripped off, kind of thing. Melissa's here. Hi, Melissa. Andy says, back in the late 70s, I had a car that I took to get repaired several times without success. I drove a smoking car around with a sign on both sides saying, this car repaired by 3 times at. Yeah, good advertising. That's a, yeah, good thing. Oh, yeah. Car service, you know, finding really good, reputable service people for cars, because that's as old as the hills. Those kind of scams, you know, you take it in for, you know, top up my my windshield wiper fluid and change my oil, and then they tell you, oh, you need this too, and you should have this because your car's not safe, and you know you're gonna die, so, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, you know, that's something. If you don't know anything about cars and you're depending on them being the expert, it's easy enough to get sucked into something like that. I mean, I know nothing about cars. I'm not even sure what color Walter's car is as we speak. I know it's dark, but whatever. I have a tendency to get into other people's cars anyways by mistake. So that's how much I know about cars. So, you know, I might be a target on something like that. Okay. Here is one that is a pet peeve. Okay. Everybody has this in their home. It is so easy to use. Even if you aren't really comfortable with a lot of computer technology, this is so easy to use. It's called Google. Ask a question, ask it to Google. Google will find it for you. I get asked questions all the time. I get some good ones, legitimate ones, and they're fine. But I get some like, well, if it's 3 o'clock here, what time is it your time? Go to Google. You know why? Here's what you can do. Google, if it's 3 o'clock my time, what time is it in Toronto? That's all you have to do. You don't even have to tell it where you are because you have location services on your computer. It knows where you are and it figures you out. It comes up. It takes 15 seconds and less for that kind of thing. But why is it that are people just lazy? They can't go in and do a search. Searches are so easy. You don't need any special language. Because of AI technology now and everything like that, it can almost second guess you.
Yeah, like if you put,
fact,
I always put it in those. It's 5 degrees Celsius here. How much is it in Fahrenheit? Tells you.
It tells you. You can
And
go
you can
to
do
it.
mathematics on it too. Say 2 + 2 equals.
Yeah, if you, you need that kind of thing. You can ask your Alexa or your Siri too. Because pretty much most of those are in our homes.
I do it all the time. Okay, I always forget. How many tablespoons in half cup?
Yeah. Well, I can ask my Echo right over here. Echo, how many stupid people are there in the world?
All of them.
She doesn't know.
Uh-huh.
She didn't want to answer that. Maybe that's stupid.
All of them.
All of them. Yeah. And the epitome of electronics in this day and age of stupidity has got to be the social apps. That's where people are stupid enough to show how stupid they are. One of the major ones out there besides Facebook is Nextdoor app. And if you want a good laugh,
I think they should change it to stupid people next door.
Or nosy people next door.
Or nosy people next door. I always get the ones, oh, they're building a building on this corner. Anybody know what it's for?
Yeah, okay, here's one. Lost and found. Found the black cat in the backyard. If it belongs to you or someone you know, please text me so that cat can find right home. There's no contact information. But there is a picture of the putty. There, the kitty. Isn't that cute? Yep, little black cat. Okay. It's nice that they're trying to help get the cat back to its rightful owners, but you got to give people more to go on, like your contact information.
Well, they can post on there.
Yeah, I suppose. Okay, here's something. I have a question. We're renting the main level of a house and we have South Asian neighbors in the basement. They love a 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. meal. And we wake up every night from how pungent the house smells. Is there anything that can be done? I spoke to them earlier, suggested they cook earlier and maybe just reheat the food at night, but was completely ignored. Any ideas or suggestions? Well, sometimes, okay, you have this problem. They're in your house.
What's anybody else going to do about it?
Yeah, they're your problem. Tell them to get out. Ask them not to cook that stuff. Kick them out. I don't know. Maybe they have a lease and you can't do that. Maybe you need to rethink that next time you rent the basement out and put a clause in. If you cook smelly food, you will be evacuated or something like that. But what's even stupider are the answers that these solicit. Like, when they sleep, have loud music blaring in the vents. Leave the house. Guess you didn't know the food they cooked was strong smelling. Good luck there. Oh, and then this person replied to this person. I don't mind the strong smelling food. My issue is with being at 3 a.m. Okay.
Put a plastic bag over your head in real time.
Yeah. Well, I guess this person also rents in the same house because other people are suggesting they talk to their landlord. And that another one says, ask the landlord for an air purifier or get one yourself. Yeah, I don't think that's a solution. Oh, but she did. She said, we bought two, one in the main bedroom and another in the kids' bedroom. Last night, my 3-year-old walked to our room at 3:30, complaining he couldn't sleep because of the smell. And you get, it's really entertaining. It is. And then people go, I saw a lot of cars parked down at the grocery store. Does anybody know what's happening? They're having a sale. People are buying groceries. I don't know. Like, yeah, it should be called busybodies.
Busybodies are stupid people next door.
Yeah, really. I mean, I don't know, but it's good for a laugh. It really is when you're bored. Next door. I saw cops that fly by 10 minutes ago. Does anyone know what happened? Yep, exactly, Russ. Basic black cat. Now that narrows it down really well. Yeah, true. I did an online tech support for an internet company I maintained. Heidi says that some people should not be allowed to own a computer.
That's true.
Well, that's very true. I use Google to help me with colors that I can't see, colorblind. Recently using Google to convert embroidery threads from one brand to another. Yeah, you see, that's the beauty of Google. Anything you want to know, you can probably get it from Google, and it's always getting more and more easier to find stuff, and there's more of it, and with AI, well, now we're going to have to prepare ourselves for AI, because the one thing I've been finding on these scams that are like an email and that used to be you could spot one of those scams just simply by the sentence construction. Well, they're using AI to write them now, and the AI does a really good job of sentence construction and proper grammar and the whole bit. So yeah, they're getting a little bit more sophisticated, and they're using AI to do recorded messages to your phone as well from scammers too. So you don't even have, like it used to be, if you got somebody you could hardly understand, then you probably 9 times out of 10, this is a scammer that's happening. Well, with AI, so it's going to be harder and harder, more difficult and more difficult for us to, distinguish it, so we may all be victims to stupidity because of that as well. I'm not saying I haven't done anything stupid. I am, after all, the idiot quilter, but I'll save those discussions for another day. But some of you have already witnessed them before, so you know what I'm talking about. Heidi says, oh, Laurel's here. Hi, Laurel. Sunny Brisbane. Good. Keep the sun. We're coming. Andy says, stupid people are why I prefer horses and dogs. Yeah. And Heidi says, next door, replace the party line as the gossip's best friend. True. Q cops flying by. Oh, I see. Q cops flying by. What's going on? Yeah, exactly. Okay, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us today about our stupid little talk here, and hope you have a great week. And remember, there's an awful lot coming up next week. Shannon on the 27th on Tuesday, Stephanie on Friday, and of course, me throughout the week, and Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen on Wednesday, and Men's Sew Day, for those of you that are men, and you know who you are, on Sunday. So lots coming up around here, so hope you have a great week, and we'll talk to everybody soon. Say goodbye, Walter.
Goodbye.